There's been this huge debate lately between Catholics, Protestants, and Orthodox about whether or not Muslims and Christians worship the same God. This can get a bit complicated, but let's just remember that God is more than just the concept you have in your head. So let's look at the biblical data. Do Jews have the same God even though they don't believe in the Trinity? I think the answer is still yes. Why? Because whether or not they understand God right ontologically is irrelevant. It was still the real God that started their religion, which is why the Bible says the Jews know who they worship in reference to worshiping the true God, and that they have a zeal for God but not according to knowledge. On the other hand, the Samaritans are said to not have the same God. Jesus told the Samaritan woman, you don't even know what you worship. Pagan gods are also identified to be demons in the Bible. On the other hand, when someone first prays, if there is a God, please reveal yourself, without any particular concept in their head of who this God is, that prayer does go to the true God. That's the reason why Paul said, I declare to you the unknown God, to the Athens at Mars Hill, when he saw they had a statue to the unknown God. That's also why in Romans 1 it says creation testifies of God. So if someone's on a remote island, they look up in the stars and they realize there's a God, and they say, whoever you are, show me who you are. They are praying to the true God by default, because they said whoever you are, and obviously the true God is the whoever you are, right? But do Muslims have the same God? My answer would be no, and here's why. Their religion was founded and inspired by a demon, not by the real God. And I believe Muhammad was inspired and moved by demons. Some would say, yeah, but they're an Abrahamic religion, so by default they have the same God. Well, the Samaritans had an Abrahamic religion, and yet they didn't have the same God, according to Jesus in John chapter 4. The only reason that Jews and Christians both have the right God is because the same God started both religions. That can't be said of Islam. The common Catholic belief that we all have the same God is garbage. Christians and Jews, as well as anyone who's reaching out to God but hasn't really decided what they believe about him yet, well, we have the same God that we're praying to and talking to. But in the case of every and any other religion, the Bible actually says they talk to demons. Unpopular truth, but it's the truth nonetheless.